Hello and welcome to my testing world. I have decided to try a new thing, and that would be a tutorial. And the first thing I will be tutorialing is this Sea Pickle Farm, which I designed and built a little while back. It should work in anything from 1.19 up. It relies on being able to waterlog leaf blocks, which is obviously added in that version, and it produces roughly a little under a full double chest for a full dispenser of bone meal, and that's roughly around 17,500 bone meal an hour if you keep this thing filled constantly for that long, which you can probably do by running. So here's the rough 10-minute run I did earlier with a full dispenser of bone meal. You can count it as well if you want, but it is roughly around 2,000, a little under 3,000. And here is all the stuff you will need to beat it. It's actually a little more than you need. You don't quite need that many sort of building blocks, but that's up to you. You need a fair bit of glass. I'm using tinted glass, and you need some slabs. Obviously you'll need a minecart, and one of that will pair with a hopper to produce some gathering stuff. 2 chests, some dirt blocks for scaffolding and building things to help you, lever, dispenser, a comparator, 4 blocks of redstone, 9 target blocks, 7 redstone repeaters, 21 powered rail, 4 normal rail, stack or so of redstone, stack or so of hoppers, 12 sticky pistons, some leaves, stack would probably be helpful, half a stack of coral blocks. You probably won't need that many, but in case you happen to kill one by accident, some water, enough to make an infinite sauce, and of course at least 1 sea pickle. And now, on to the tutorial. Okay, to build this Sea Pickle Farm, you will need a 12 by 9 area and 10 blocks high, including 2 blocks headroom. The base area should be a 5 by 5 square, 2 blocks in from the end of the build area. I'm going to mark this with a different block, but this is not strictly necessary. Next, at the lower left corner of the base, you'll want to place 1 solid block in the corner, and then another in the middle, and then 2 more on either side of the middle block on the side away from the edge. You should also, if you want, dig out and mark a short L-shaped tail here, which we will refer to later. Now place 4 target blocks across the middle of the base, with 2 more blocks over here on this side, and 1 on the other side of the middle. Now, I'm going to place some redstone, place this repeater coming out of this block, and dust on all of the blocks on this side of the base, including the upraised block in the corner. And place dust on all the blocks on the other side too, except the 2 corner blocks. Then place a target block next to the upraised block in the corner. Now, moving on to pistons. Place sticky pistons in a star shape, like this, leaving the centre to be filled with a solid block. At this point you should fill in the corners, except where there is dust. Now we'll be making a temporary infinite water source off to the side, and we'll need this later. I can also use it as a way to get up and down. Placing leaves here on the next level, but not above any of the pistons, so above all the other blocks. At this point you can test the pistons actually work by using a lever placed at the base of the tail. Next up, waterlog all the leaf blocks. And place live coral blocks above the pistons. If any die, you've missed waterlogging one of the leaf blocks. Repeat another level of leaves above the original ones and waterlog those too. You can remove the infinite water source now, but keep at least one bucket of water. And you can leave the blocks as a temporary stairway up. Next up, build up 2 blocks from the bend in the tail and place a chest with a 1 block gap between it and the coral. Place the hopper pointing into the chest. And then you want to make 2 semicircle loops around the coral, leading into that hopper place that goes into the chest. Now build a wall around this with redstone blocks in the middle points of each of 3 sides. And in the 4th side, where the chest is, you want to offset it to the side. Before you finish up the final bit of the wall, it's probably a good idea to place some of the rails. We'll need a little hopper pointing off to one side, leading into the loop, and then you want a powered rail on top of that, a normal rail, and then around the corner another powered rail. This will give you a little turn. And you also want to place a target block here on the end of the first rail. Then you can fill out the rest of the rails on top of all the hoppers. Just use a normal rail in the corner, so there is a loop. This will loop around, take the minecart back into the little siding, and then if it's powered, bounce it back out again and round, and it'll keep going. Or not, if it's switched off. If you misplaced any rails during this, you can collect them from the chest. Now, place 2 hoppers above the chest, pointing down into it, and make 2 more semicircle loops around the farm, pointing into those hoppers you just placed. And then build another retaining wall. No need for redstone blocks this time. Now you want to place 4 temporary blocks above the leaves in the centre, and then remove all but the top one. This is so you can place a dispenser pointing down, and then remove the other temporary block. Fill in the area now with more temporary blocks, except for the middle one where you want to place another coral. With a bucket, put some water on the coral and then place a pickle on top of it. And then you can remove all of the temporary blocks. Place 3 solid blocks leading to the dispenser from the side where the chest is, with redstone on top, and I put a repeater on 3 ticks. I know the image at this point shows 2, but it should be 3. Now, I want to pop down to the ground below, build a 4x2 platform next to the tail, and make a path to the target block next to where the minecart is. Hopper minecart, technically. And you'll want to put a lever on it here, which this is our on-off switch. If you switch it on, you can see the cart go round, and switch it off and let the cart come back to rest. Now we need a small repeater clock. We can take a comparator, taking the signal from the on-off lever, and then we want 4 repeaters, 2 in this direction, 2 in that, and then 2 bits of redstone to complete the clock. Now you can run the signal from that clock down the tail and into a repeater that points into the main piston area. We also want to build a path of slabs up to the repeater on the top. With dust on each slab. Now, you can fill the dispenser with bone meal and switch it on and get all your pickly goodness. Okay then, hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back at some point in the future in another video, and I will see you in that one. Bye.